Alrighty then, what's in the human body? And I'll share an experience where I downloaded a whole bunch of gunk. So, of course, if we're trying to ascend and get a clean, fit and healthy body, or just trying to improve yourself for spiritual development, whatever's your style, then if we're held down by what everybody in the community and society, is just a natural human thing, has at least 5 kilos of solid shite, fecal matter, stuck in the different parts of their intestines. And I guarantee you, in the liver and spleen imbalances on the corners of the large intestine, there's bucket loads of solid crap there. And that's why we get distracted from the fungus that is across that large intestine. It's always like, no, and it's hard to be centered. So, it was probably about 6 years ago now. I was doing, great nutrition. I was making those adjustments suited to my body and cleansing and reduce the meat and that sort of thing. And I was feeling fantastic, doing lots of half marathons. I had, big goals that I wanted to achieve. And I was out on a bushwalking day out with a bushwalking group in the Blue Mountains. Feeling wonderful, absolutely great, And then it got to the afternoon and at lunchtime I'd had a tuna salad and was feeling great with that. And then about 3 hours later I had an apple. And of course, I'd started to realize by that point that food combining is important, and keeping fruit to the morning, because they're flushing and cleansing and go through very quick, is the best way to go. Because if we have fruit after fats and oils, they catch up and they ferment and they mix and get a lot of gas and a lot of gunk. So we'll have an evacuation for an involuntary colon cleanse, which is what happened. Even though it was probably 4 hours difference between these, my body just went and I'm holding on, because we got lost on this bushwalk, and with a dozen people I wasn't able to just sit and download all the stuff that was there, because we had to get to the end and we had a time pressure. So I'm holding on, what? And then going up big long hills and another 5Ks left was rather a challenge, when it's usually pretty easy for me. And by the time, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours later, we got to the service station toilet, I absolutely downloaded on 20 minutes of just getting rid of solid stuff that was just coming out. I'm like, how much is in there? What's going on? And then felt super clear and light and really energized, because we had beautiful oxygen and all the beautiful eucalyptus in the air. And then I got back to a friend's place about another hour later, and I'm like, all right, got to go to the loo. For an hour, I'm just stuff was just flying out. You're sitting there going, this is never happened before. What the hell's going on? And probably 6, 7, 8 courtesy flushes. That much stuff. It's ridiculous. And then afterwards, I'm a little discombobulated, but feeling really clear and bubbly and joyful, and lots of comedy and jokes coming out, because I got rid of a lot of the heavy density that was holding me back. I probably dropped 3 kilos, 4 kilos in one go, because my body had got to such a high vibration. I was feeling fantastic and got the nutrients and benefits that I could actually download everything. So, and that was the start of oh, hang on, this colon cleansing stuff is very helpful. And of course, I'm always recommending people go get a colonic irrigation, because you put 10 litres of water in and flush it all out, you should see what comes out. And of course, without this sort of thing, there is just the inevitable result is poor health, all sorts of gut problems and mind problems and perception problems. And of course, by getting rid of that, you just feel light and airy. And by having all that gunk out, we start to make subconscious decisions on our food choices and our relationships and our emotional state from a much cleaner perspective and much more clarity. So, feel free to investigate, and more importantly, none of this stuck in your head. Get in there and book it. It's the best $100 you'll ever spend. And of course, until it gets done, there's no ascension, there's no improvement, it's just stuck in your head. And which is stuck in the solar plexus where all the gunk is, making the decisions for you, subconsciously. So feel free to have a look at a colonic irrigation.